Something completely wild and unexpected in my business that has been the largest driver of traffic to my website has been Pinterest and using Pinterest to repurpose content that I've already created and promoting it on the Pinterest app has driven so many people to my website and my content and my opt-ins that really I didn't expect. I kind of started Pinterest as like a fun little experiment after a friend suggested it in a mastermind that I was in. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about my recent aha moment with my Pinterest strategy that has completely pivoted what we're doing in Pinterest right now and has also led to like a fucking giant epiphany, like break through the glass ceiling of my limitations epiphany of being like, I can be multi-passionate and have all of these things and still promote my content and have a successful business. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I have been publishing on Pinterest for about 5 years. Like I said, I started on Pinterest due to a friend just randomly being like, hey, you should pin some of your YouTube videos on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Give it a try. So following that conversation, I created super quick, 10 minutes. I created 5 Pinterest pins, created an account, posted them, driving traffic to my website, to my Motorcycle Mindset Academy course, and also to some blog posts that linked to my YouTube videos. No brainer, super duper easy. And that was back at the start of my business when I was promoting a lot of motorcycle content. I started as kind of a content creator in that space. I had my online course, and that has evolved since then. So I never did more than 5 of those posts about motorcycles back in the day. And as my business developed, I started to do more business type pins. I was kind of on and off in the Pinterest game until I had my assistant jump on board. And that's when we really hit Pinterest hard because I started to look into the analytics and the back end to say, like, where is all my traffic coming from? And it was coming from legit one fucking Pinterest pin that was performing super well 5 years running. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. We should do more Pinterest pins. So that was probably like a year ago. We started to consistently do 5 Pinterest pins per podcast episode, per, content piece or YouTube video. And what was really interesting is as we've periodically checked back in on the progress of our Pinterest strategy, we have seen that the podcast content, the podcast images, anything with the word motorcycle in it just performs really well on Pinterest. And I was so hesitant to acknowledge this for a while because I was like, no, I'm not doing motorcycles anymore. I'm not in the content game. I'm business, I'm podcast, this is like what I'm promoting. And it wasn't until I actually started to be like, can I fucking be both? That really, like, the glass just shattered and my brain just went, OMG. Yes, you can be. So what really I was saying, or what I was seeing in the data was like, yes, motorcycles are performing well. Okay, that's driving traffic to my opt-ins, to my funnels. And the business stuff is doing okay. It could be better, but we tweaked that a lot. We've kind of been doing a lot there. But what really the clarity that came out of it was like I can still promote my motorcycle stuff because I do ride motorcycles. I am still in that industry, and I feel just as passionate now about when I did do it that it's still valid. It's still valid fucking content. Why am I ignoring that? Because it's obviously getting the eyeballs. So I have started to bring that in, and this is more than a Pinterest strategy. It's more than a pivot. It's really a radical realization within myself that I do not have to silo the pieces of me that I think are marketable, or, whatever sort of business I'm trying to run on any given year, that I can integrate these passions. I can integrate all these multiple passions that I have into my brand, into my business. And in fact, by having those different pieces of who I am, that actually strengthens my brand. It shows depth, it shows expertise, and it shows a piece of my life beyond what I can just do when I'm kind of focusing in one silo at any given time. And it's been really fun to lean into this. I want to tell you kind of like the flow on effects of what this has done in my life. It's meant that, I've started to lean more into the motorcycle stuff. I'm like, well, cool, that's like personal branding as well. Like I can wear more Harley Davidson stuff. I can, do more dark eyeliner and like have that more badass vibe that I'm stepping into. It also means that my content, I'm bringing more that motorcycle imagery in, because it's showing like that it has the essence of badass. It has the essence of confidence and not giving a fuck and not giving a shit what anyone thinks about you. And just this weekend, I got some new branding photos that I'm really excited to test on Pinterest of me specifically with my motorcycle, but in like cute, sort of business appropriate motorcycle tangential clothing. So I'm showing the business side, but also the motorcycle side, and kind of merging the two, showing that multi-passionate equals it's okay to be yourself. And that is really where we're at with our Pinterest strategy at the moment. I'm so excited. It was just a huge fucking breakthrough. So I want to break this down a little bit for those listening or for those who might be watching, and be like, what does this mean for you? So, with your business journey, pretty much you're never currently where you are when you started. Like you've had these transformations, you've had these epiphanies and these journeys, and you've discovered certain things as you've gone along. You've done certifications and gone to school and just learned more and brought that into your business. But like, what does that mean to say, like, you don't have to ignore who you were when you started? Like, that's actually really valid. And showing that story is really powerful for your audience to kind of say like, hey, this is the transformation I've been on. This is the transformation I can help you with. And integrating those pieces and creating like a starting at point A, now I'm at point B, this is how I got there, and kind of illustrating that in your storytelling. And maybe that looks like, if you worked in a corporate job and you dropped out and now you're a makeup artist, you can kind of reference that in your content to say like, yeah, I wasn't always a makeup artist. There were times in my corporate job where I would sit in my office and just daydream about makeup palettes all day long and just helping women feel beautiful all the time. That might be an example of sort of integrating that piece of where you were at that time in your life. It can also be a matter of like, if being a mother is super critical to how you run your business, if the lessons you learned in motherhood also are things that you apply in your business, that can be a really powerful thing. And maybe that's kind of like a content pillar that you want to bring in, a part of your story that you want to bring in and share like high level, those parenting things that you've learned and how that's helped you run a more successful business, or that's helped you have, more success with your clients because you're able to see the parallels and kind of work within those dynamics. And this Pinterest strategy rocked my world. It's been a great epiphany. And I want to share with you my business blueprint. Okay, so this is a download that has my Pinterest strategy in it. It also shows you what I call the easiest way to repurpose content. So I repurpose my long form content, my podcast, interviews, conversations across 5 platforms. And I do all of this in about 2 hours a week, primarily through Pinterest and cutting down in the big videos into smaller videos. So this whole strategy that I'm talking about right now is in my business blueprint. The link is in the show notes below. So you're going to want to grab a copy of that. That my favorite part about my business blueprint is it's all of my strategies on how I run my business, but I also update it weekly. So it's always hot with the latest things that I'm doing and the latest tools, the latest kind of strategies and decision-making processes and checklists. And it's all going to help you go further, faster on your business journey. I put so much love and time into my business blueprint to make it as high value as possible for you. But that is definitely the go-to place if you kind of want to see a written down plan of what my Pinterest strategy is looking like at the moment. Well, that is my recent Pinterest pivot, my multi-passionate epiphany, and really how I'm starting to approach repurposing content, but also more broadly, bringing in that personal brand and realizing that I can be all of who I want to be on all of the platforms I want to be on in a way that feels really fun and authentic to me. Until next time, ride safe and keep living your freedom life.